Look, man, a family builds real wealth. Not lucky, not lottery, actually built it, generation one, the hard way. Here's the brutal part. A 20-year study tracking 3,200 wealthy families found that 70% of them lose all of it by the second generation, 90% by the third. It's not that the money runs out, it's that almost nobody survives holding on to it. You've probably heard, new money never lasts your whole life, said like it's some kind of curse, like wealth just naturally evaporates if you didn't earn it the hard way yourself. That's not what's actually happening. There's real math working against every dollar you try to hold on to or pass down, and the families who actually stay rich for generations aren't luckier. They specifically studied this math and built around it. Everyone else just finds out the hard way. Here's the mechanism, and there's actually three separate pieces of brutal math stacked on top of each other. Math number one, the generational math. That 70% by second generation, 90% by third generation number comes from the Williams Group, who tracked those 3,200 families for 2 decades. Fine print, because Frank reads the fine print. Another wealth researcher, Jim Grubman, has pushed back on exactly how that data was gathered, so treat the precise percentage with a little skepticism. But here's what nobody disputes. The Williams Group's own breakdown found the 2 biggest reasons families lose it are a breakdown in trust and communication within the family, and heirs who were never actually taught how to manage what they were about to inherit. Why should you care, even if you're not inheriting anything? Because it proves wealth isn't a number you hit once and keep. It's a system that has to survive every single person who touches it. Math number 2, the happiness math. And this one's actually a real equation. In 2010, Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton found happiness seemed to plateau around $75,000 a year. For over a decade, that became the go-to line. Money stops buying happiness after $75K. Then, in 2021, a researcher named Matthew Killingsworth ran his own study and got the opposite result. Happiness kept climbing well past that. So, Kahneman and Killingsworth actually teamed up in 2023, ran what's called an adversarial collaboration, specifically trying to prove each other wrong, and published the result together. The real answer, for most people, happiness keeps rising with income past $100,000, no ceiling. But there's an unhappy minority, people already dealing with real hardship, whose happiness does flatten out around that same number. Here's the brutal part economists have known since long before any of this. The relationship runs on a logarithmic curve. That means going from $50,000 to $100,000 buys you roughly the same happiness boost as going from $100,000 to $200,000, then $200,000 to $400,000 for that same fixed boost again. Every additional happiness point costs double the money of the last one. That's not a metaphor. That's literally the shape of the curve. Math number 3, the myth that almost nobody checks. You've probably heard 70% of lottery winners go broke. It's repeated constantly. The organization that supposedly published that number, NEF, came out and said flat out they never researched it and can't confirm it. It started as one offhand comment at a symposium in 2001 and just spread. What actually happened when someone checked a real study of 35,000 lottery winners in Florida found fewer than 6% ever filed for bankruptcy? Why does that matter here? Because it means sudden money isn't cursed. What kills wealth isn't how you got it. Fast or slow, inherited or earned. It's whether there's a system behind it once it lands. Here's the reframe. All 3 pieces of math point at the same brutal truth. Money isn't the thing that runs out on its own. Systems run out. No plan for the next generation. No cap on how much each extra dollar is actually worth to you emotionally. No structure around a windfall. That's what actually disappears. The rich families who last generations didn't get better luck. They just did the math early and built the system before they needed it. Quick gut check. If a large sum of money landed on you tomorrow, inheritance, windfall, doesn't matter. Do you actually have a system waiting for it? Or would it just land in your regular checking account with zero plan, the exact gap that wipes out 70% of families by the very next generation? Let's make this real for a second. Picture two families, same net worth today, a few $1,000,000 each. One talks openly about money at the dinner table. The kids know the family's actual financial plan by the time they're adults. There's a real structure for what happens to the money next. The other family never discusses it. Heirs find out what they're getting only after the funeral, with zero preparation for any of it. 10 years later, Family 1 has grown the money. Family 2 is exactly the statistic. Gone, or close to it, not because anyone stole it, just because nobody built anything to hold it. The math was never about how much you make or how much you inherit. It's whether there's a system built to survive you. If you want that system, jar by jar, I already laid it out last week. Go check it. That's exactly what last week's video is about.
Frank about money. Keep the gap, get free.